Jobina has a book club called Jobina's exclusive VIP only private book club where everyone is invited. Well, guess what? I'm hijacking that idea for Pride Month and creating Reggie's exclusive VIP only
Not the
private book
tape.
club.
The tape.
Of course, everyone is invited. This is a fantastic graphic. This is the best graphic the show has ever made.
Ooh.
And what an honor for my first guest to see this graphic and also be the first author.
Not private.
Dano Moreno. His books, plural, are Our Wish for You and Hope for Ryan White. Dano joins us live now. First of all, my friend, congratulations on being an author.
Thank you, Reggie. It's good to be here, and happy Pride.
And to you. Dano and I go way back. Dano lives in Portland. I was in Portland prior to being in San Francisco. I was at Dano's wedding. Dano came to my wedding. And now we're having this full circle moment as you are now not only a dad, but also a dad who writes about being a dad. That's so amazing.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a surprise to me as well, and a wonderful journey.
Well, okay, so let's talk about your first book. So the first one that is coming out this month, which you can pre-order right now, is about Ryan White. And I realize Ryan White is someone who has been in my head for many years, but there are going to be younger people out there who have no idea who Ryan White is. Is that why you decided to pick him as a subject?
Yes, absolutely. I first learned about Ryan White in elementary school, and his courage just blew me away. And I've continued to learn about his story as I got older and entered the public health profession. So my goal with the story, yes, was to bring his story to a new generation of kids who may not have ever heard of him.
Yeah, and for those who aren't aware, Ryan White was a kid who contracted HIV. It ended up being a national story. At that point, there were a lot of people across the nation who had all sorts of prejudices against people who were HIV positive and just really didn't understand how someone could get HIV, how you could spread it, how difficult it was to spread. Sadly, Ryan White only lived to the age of 18. And so I guess my question for you, Dano, is it's a children's book. How do you tell a story that it really doesn't end up having a happy ending? How do you tell that in a way that is appropriate for the age level?
What a great question. And that was one of the primary challenges I faced while writing this story. But again, I first learned about his story as a child. And, there's a sensitive way to address hard topics with kids. Kids ask hard questions. Kids just lived through a pandemic, and some of their questions include, questions about death and disease. But really, the focus of this book is not, while that's included. The focus is really about Ryan's courage. How when his town became consumed with fear and misinformation, that's how he responded. That impressed me so much. So for those who may not be familiar with his story, he and his mother went to court. They talked with the media, and they educated people, not just in his hometown, but all over the world. And that inspired other kids to learn and to advocate for inclusion as well. So my hope is that this story really continues to inspire kids to stand up for themselves and for each other, and teaches children about a time in our recent history when misinformation was very widespread, certainly a relevant theme today.
Now, your other book, which is coming out in September, really speaks to what you and so many other families have, the journey that you've decided to go on to parenthood. And so tell me about this book and the type of adoption that you're describing.
Sure. Our Wish for You, illustrated by Ryan O'Rourke, is inspired by my experience becoming a dad through open adoption, which means that my husband and I and my son stay connected to his birth family. So this is a universal story about the wishes that parents have for their children, including birth parents and including adoptive parents, who in this case happen to be two men. So while on one hand it's a universal story, it also is one that I like to think of as a love letter to adoptees and to all parties involved in open adoption. And I hope that kids from all backgrounds learn about open adoption and walk away with a better understanding of it. And I hope it opens up conversations about diversity and what it means to be a family.
And there's your family right there, you and your son on a beach, which I absolutely love it. I think it's so adorable. I assume that you've read these stories to your son already, and what was his reaction?
Yes, he, like always, he sat in my lap and just became very calm and interested and had questions about the pages. I think his first comment when he saw the cover was, "Oh, a pickle baby." So I do always think of that and laugh. Um, but yeah, I hope he felt loved and adored through the book and supported. I think every kid deserves the chance to see themselves in a book.
Hope for Ryan White, again, comes out later this month. I Wish for You comes out in September, but both books you can pre-order right now. I think it's so important, Dano, that you're doing this work and that you're allowing families to discover Ryan White's story and also discover a process that really isn't talked about a lot, especially in the children's section of the library. So, Dano, thank you so much for being my first guest.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.